Okay, building a following on Instagram. How the hell do you do this? I want to figure it out, you want to figure it out, so let's figure it out. Let's go. Okay, so this week I made a video called How to Promote Your Business on Instagram. And I was really surprised when I found that the methods and the strategies that I used actually started to work and it isn't all a scam. So since I made that video with 0 followers, I'm now up to a massive 16. And I think that's great. So what I want to do here is use these strategies that I talked about in that last video, and I want to limit myself to an hour a day. I'm trying to operate on the principle that I'm hustling. I'm like, I don't have much time in the day. So I'm going to try and do 30 minutes to a max of an hour a day over 7 days. I'm going to check back in every day, record what I'm doing, showcase exactly the strategies I'm using. And by the end of the week, I'm really interested to see how many followers I've actually got. So without further ado, I'll just explain the strategies I'll be using and then we'll just start working.
Let's do it. I'm pumped.
So strategy number 1, I'll be commenting on other accounts that are in this niche. Not just in the similar interest, but also at a similar scale to me. Not 5 million followers, not 100K followers, but something like 10,000 followers that are in the same realm and are interested in the same eco-friendly niche. Because if you remember in that other video, I am going to be trying to sell the beeswax wrap. I'm going to be posting a story every single day and I'm going to make 2 posts every single day. I'm also going to be tagging other pages in those posts to try and get a conversation going. I'm going to be trying to build questions more than anything else because questions are going to lure people in. People really love talking about themselves. So if I can just entice people into commenting on my posts or just replying to me on their posts, and I have things like a good story highlight, I have highlights on my page, and I have interesting comments to say. Hopefully we can get a bit of traction and some more followers. And those are the techniques I want to focus on. Later down the line, maybe next month, I want to use only video content and I want to split test and see if I can actually make more or less reach with still images or video content. So pretty keen to do this, pretty excited. I really haven't really touched social media that much. I'm not very interested in it at all. But people always tell me that I should get on board and grow a following. So this is somewhat affiliated with me. I've got my name on it just for transparency's sake. All right, that is that. Sorry for the long ramble. Let's start working. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to write some posts on Later. So I've already uploaded quite a lot of media to Later. As you can see, there's a common theme here of greenery. All of these photos I took on my 35mm camera. It's just a really cheap SLR that I picked up and started getting into film photography last year. And I find that these photos are really beautiful. The colors come out so nicely and it's sort of not really directed to the product. I want to get people interested in the brand of Fern City. And the brand of Fern City, I think, will just be inspiring people to love nature. I want to inspire people to buy the products, right? I don't want to just flaunt their feed with the product itself. So I'm thinking I'll post the product like twice in the week, but most of the posts, so 12 out of the 14 posts, will be nice visual imagery. So I've already posted quite a few. We got one coming up today, but I'm also going to just start working on some other ones. So this is just coming in on EST time at 2 p.m. So people are kind of, they've just had their lunch. They might have a lunch break. And hopefully they'll pop onto Instagram and have a look at what I have to say. So one thing I'm trying to do with these posts is be radically honest, because I found that on Instagram these days, one thing that's coming up is honesty. People don't like these kind of like super polished, perfect lives that people are living. I'm pretty keen to promote a very raw version of the brand, just what is happening, what is simple. And of course, I'm very lucky to have taken some nice photographs. So I'm going to ask a question in here. Let's just have a go. I might delete a few of these, but let's have a go. So I did a little bit of brainstorming there. I was kind of saying like, this is a walk. This is a photo I took when I was going out for a stroll. And then I just figured out I need to ask people something. So what's your favorite time to take a walk? Damn simple, like seriously simple. Took this photo around Eden Park as the sun was reaching eye level. Absolute stunner of a day. It's going to go onto the Fern City Facebook page and the Instagram page. So one thing I want to trial here is, as I said in the other video, this style of hashtags where you just do a block down the bottom isn't really working anymore because Instagram can see it and they demote you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and I'm going to add some hashtags in the actual paragraph, and only the ones that make sense. And now I've just added down the bottom a little teaser for future posts. Stay tuned for more pics from Fern City as we roll out our latest eco-friendly products. And maybe I shouldn't use products, maybe I should use tools or... So I wasn't really sure about products, I just changed it to items there because I think that's a little bit more user-friendly. Just check it over, looks pretty good. So what I want to do going forward is I want to save as much time as possible during this week. So while I'm on later, I'm just going to do the next 7 days. So we'll just speed through this and I'll make a bunch more posts because I don't want to be going back and forth from different tasks during the day. I just want to get things over with and go and do the next thing.
Few moments later.
So one thing I want to do when I'm doing hashtags is I want to make a unique hashtag. A unique hashtag here is obviously Fern City. And right now I know 0 people using it. And later in a week's time or even in a month's time, I can check back here and see if anybody else has started using hashtag Fern City, and that will be able to chart my growth. It's a bit of a long shot really, but it might work. Also, when you're posting up here, make sure to only add the hashtags after you've created both of the posts. Otherwise, you're going to end up sending hashtags to Facebook and you're going to look a bit silly.
Five minutes later.
So another thing I'm doing is I'm just sending out messages to everybody who likes and follows my posts. I'm just saying, hey, thanks for liking this. Hey, thanks for following this. Here's a discount on my store. And that's just going to sort of associate the store with them. It's going to get them to visit the store. And it's just one more route for conversions. So I think if I do this hundreds of times, and it's just a way of engaging with your customers and saying, thanks is never going to harm anything.
A few minutes later.
So I've just made a few more posts for the week, and I've also collated a ton of images for future posts, and they're all to do with nature, and that's just generic good content that I can fall back on. Weaved into all of this, I'll be posting the products as well. Okay, so now I've gone through and I've liked a number of pages that are in this similar niche. I want to comment on all of these posts that they come up with. I'm just going to spend 10 minutes doing this and try and be as engaging as possible, try and be different so that my page stands out. Ban plastic. And I was like, yeah, excellent. What can we do to change our ways though? Should we force supermarkets to stop using plastic or buy eco? It's in line with what they're saying and hopefully they follow us. Okay, so it is day 2. It is Thursday with me, and we've got no new followers. So that's the update, really. And all I did yesterday was go through and comment on a bunch of people's posts. But today, what I want to do is go and follow a whole bunch of people. I think I'm going to follow like 200 to 300 new accounts that are in a similar niche and a similar level of followers. I don't want to overwhelm the Instagram algorithm because if I go and follow like 1,000 new pages, I'm probably going to be marked as a spam account. So that's probably what I'd recommend you do as well, is just go and like 100 to 300 pages. And I wouldn't be doing that every day, but that would be a good start. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did yesterday and comment on all of these posts that I follow, which will take a long time, but that's just going to, increase a bit of engagement. And that has already been happening on my page. Every single person that I've commented on their post, they've replied back to me. I haven't seen that data in conversions on my account with followers or on my Shopify page with purchases, but I think if I scale this up to maybe 1,000 followers, 1,000 posts, surely the margins are in my favor. The second thing I'm going to have to do today is make an engaging story. 2 or 3 stories actually, to make sure that people see that I'm active, and if they come back to me more than once, they'll see that I'm even more active than they thought. When you're commenting on all of these other pages, you're going to want to have that story ring to show that you're an active Instagram account. And people are going to want to follow active Instagram accounts. So I just went for a walk to the local pond I'm very lucky to live right now close to a pond, and I got a little video of the pond, and that's just showcasing that eco-friendly vibe that Fern City is going for. What other things you could do would be unboxing of your products, showcasing how the business runs, maybe doing brand testimonials with your customers and reviews, and then also just cool product photos. But yeah, right now I'm just going to keep with the nature. I'm trying to hook people, keep them engaged with the nature photography that I've been doing. And then about once a week, I'm going to be posting and putting on the story the actual product. But I don't want to spam people right now. I've seen a couple of different approaches to this, and I really like the approach of just a subtle, subliminal, once a week post of the product, not every day. So without further ado, let's get into it. So just furthering on from yesterday, I've just been going through. I followed quite a few people now. I'd only been following about 20 people yesterday. Now I'm following 124. I actually found that Instagram stopped letting me follow people. I'm not entirely sure when this happened because I just went on a big splurge, but I think they're going to limit you if you follow over 100 people. I've just been double checking to make sure that anybody who follows me, like in the last 10 or 20 minutes, 3 people have followed me, and I just go and I make sure I follow them back. And to make sure that they stick around, I've been going in and liking and commenting on people's posts. Just something simple like this, like a question. Like this post is a really good example because nobody has commented on it. So this account will really value my comment and they'll be sure to follow me for a long time. Instead of just doing follow for follow and people, unfollow you quite quickly, it's good to like maintain and build a bit of a relationship. So been having quite a few comment threads with these eco-friendly brands. And I really think that that is a good trend to continue. That actually ended up, this thing that I did yesterday, a brand that I was commenting on, they ended up following me and liking a couple of my photos. So just hope that that trend continues really. One other tip I recommend doing is just going through, not only commenting, but actually just liking a few of these people's posts that you followed, especially those accounts that are a bit smaller. That one's quite big, but we'll give it a go anyway. Like this one, for example, Eco and More in Western Australia. Just liking their posts and showing them that you're a valuable follower is probably going to lead them to follow you back. And that's just what you want. So I hope that helps. And I'm just going to continue doing this. Okay, so it's Friday and we have a few followers. Just a little update here. So doing pretty well. We're up from 16 followers to 34, so doubled in one day. Pretty stoked with that.
I changed a lot.
I am following 124 people, so I'm just going to do the same as I did yesterday. Try and follow another 100 to 200 people before Instagram slaps me on the wrist and says, stop it, I know what you're doing. I'm going to comment on all those new accounts. I'm going to like everybody's posts and I'm going to update a groovy story and I'm going to keep posting my content. Pretty stoked with my engagement rate so far. It's 30%, which is pretty mind-blowing. I know I have a small following, so it's kind of skewed, but this is really high, like 34 followers and I'm getting like 10 likes on posts. Average likes is 7, and that is just pretty seriously pretty good. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just gonna keep on keeping on and just try and smash out and just, get 10K followers.
Let me inspire you.
I know this isn't that, it's not that amazing. It's only 34 followers, but I just wanted to prove that little habits every day to try and build your following actually does work. So I'm just gonna keep going, and yeah, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through each of these posts since I last logged in, and I'm gonna make sure that I follow everybody who's liked them. This one just came out. So this one here, the most liked post, has actually got a few people who I don't already follow. So it would be pretty cool to go and follow these people and just be like, show them I'm interested in them. And I would just do that with every single one to make sure that oh look, there you go, another one, just to make sure that these people know I'm an active, engaged follower. And then I would just go through Instagram and make sure I liked. I've actually already done this before the video started, but I've liked all the recent posts from the followers. And yeah, that should be pretty cool. And just to show you what's going on the schedule, we have a pretty extensive schedule. And basically on the desktop version of Later, I can see just posts. But on my phone, I'm also going to be putting up stories. So yeah, there's gonna be 3 posts going out today, 3 tomorrow, and this is what's happened already this week. So I started the Instagram challenge here and I started, building it up and making it a bit more intense. So yeah, everything I'm using is a free app. This is a free version of Later. You can upgrade. Obviously, Instagram is free, and I haven't even shared it to Facebook or anything to try and get more followers, but that would be another avenue. But yeah, that's that. Another thing to do is just go through all of your likes, and if anybody has followed you recently, be sure to follow them back. And maybe once their posts come up on your feed, you can give them a like just to show them you're an interested follower. That is definitely my thing that I keep banging on about. This person is kind of hitting me up saying they've got a big page interested in cheap promo. I don't know. I think this is kind of a scam. Like, yeah, they've got 95K, which is cool. They're not actually doing promos. So I just had a look at this and I was like, this is a scam. You know, this is just a theme page that people are posting to. And this person that hit me up, they're not actually doing promos either. So I would probably just not reply to that and not waste my time. I'd much rather reach out to people who are in the niche. I reached out to this person yesterday. Would you be keen to do a promo? Yet to reply. So I'm in the dark there, but still trying, still hustling. But yeah, that's that. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Okay, the weekend has passed. I took a pause for the weekend because I'm a bit of a digital detoxer. I like to get away from the computer on the weekend. So not much happened on the weekend, which is interesting. I mean, I took a break, didn't really get that much of an increase in followers. I was kind of hoping that there'd be like an organic sort of like take care of itself, automated business, make money while I sleep kind of thing. But that wasn't really the case. It turns out you actually have to put the work in order to get the following and eventually get conversions. That being said, we do have 57 followers now. It was 34 on Friday at the end of the day. So nearly doubled over the weekend. Kind of just sat back and let that happen. I'm following a few more people now because after Friday's video, I got access to follow a few more people because of my daily limit. I haven't really changed much. I've just been doing the same thing, adding a couple of stories every day, adding a couple of posts every day, commenting on those pages that are at similar scale to mine, and liking the pages that I follow in order to make sure that they know I'm an active follower. I've actually yet to push the brand really on here. Our store just got upgraded, ferncity.com. Hopefully some people go and have a look at that. But that's a bit of a weak marketing tactic for me. I'm just doing this passive, like simple thing at the moment. In a week or two, I'll be putting up proper video ads that really funnel people into the brand. But right now, with such a small following, it's not really worth doing that. Just those little easy images that I can make in a few seconds, a much more efficient use of my time. And then later we can go into a big campaign once I've got a few more followers. But right now, I'm really happy with this. One little hack I found is that if you want to avoid the ads, just go on the Instagram desktop version and you don't have to, immediately have an advert, which is nice. When you're doing this, you just kind of want to speed through it. So just going to continue doing what I've been doing. Hopefully by tomorrow, we've got even more followers. So just the same as last week, going to be spending a small amount of time every day having a look at Instagram using those same methods, trying to build an audience. And hopefully by Wednesday this week, we'll have hit 100 followers. And then maybe next month, 1,000, and exponentially grow from there. Anyway, wish me luck. I will check back in tomorrow. Okay, so day 5 of this little challenge. I woke up this morning and found that we had 76 followers in total, which is pretty cool. I'd liked quite a few people yesterday, so it wasn't surprising to me that followed me back, One thing I did do that was different yesterday is I went and I looked at Bees Wrap in Vermont, which is like the main competitor of the product I'm selling on Shopify. And I just had a look at their creatives. I saw what kinds of things they were doing because we essentially have the same target audience as well as the same product. And on top of that, on top of having a look at what they were doing, I just did a whole bunch of stories. I've got my highlights set up properly now. And I also just liked furiously everybody that I followed. I just liked every single post, put a bunch of comments up there, and people do really respond to that. People are on their phones. They're just like you and me. They're just small business owners, normal people. And when you post something that's nice, something that's engaging, or even if you just like a bunch of their posts, people follow you back. And it's about maintaining this kind of community that's really gonna make sure that this sticks around for the future. So we'll have to see. But yeah, right now it looks pretty good. Another thing I did was look on Later and figure out which time of day is best to post. I figured out that it was 5 p.m. EST. That's what's getting the most engagement right now. I know that that works because all of the photos that I've posted already are similar. So that is like a constant variable for me to look at in terms of engagement. If I was posting lots of different types of content, it would be harder for me to understand what works best. But because they're pretty much all just photos of trees or the sky or the nature around me, I can tell which time of the day is working best. So yeah, just gonna go forward and try and do the same time of day and introduce new content like videos. Also gonna be posting a photo of the product more and more frequently and see if that pushes people towards the actual Shopify page, which is in the description. So far, don't know, but I don't think I'm going to be posting the product that much. I think right now I just want to get to like 1,000 followers and then I can post the product a bit more frequently, maybe once a week. But right now I just want to provide actual value for people who follow me because I don't want to spam people's feed with products they already follow a bunch of other people who are trying to do that to them. So I want to just keep it nice and easy, lots of eye candy and negative space with Fern City so that they come back to the page more frequently. Now, other people that I've been liking in day 5 was famous chefs. So going on Gordon Ramsay's Instagram page and Heston Blumenthal's Instagram page and just following as many people I could who already follow that account. Because at the end of the day, the products that I'm selling at Fern City are kitchen tools. So if you can get into the actual audience that you hope to buy those tools, then, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. So that's what I did. And hopefully that actually turns into real sales. In terms of actual photo content that I'm putting up, it is just, of course, those trees that are around me, and it's snow season right now. So there's been a bit of that as well. I'll be moving to New Zealand in a couple of weeks, going back home. So there'll be a variation in what I post, and we'll see if that actual content changes people's engagement. I'm not sure if it really will. I think the one thing that will change people's engagement is videos, and I'm really keen to start putting videos on Fern City. But yeah, I hope that this has taught you some lessons. I will check in tomorrow for day 6 and see what has changed. Okay, now we're on to day 6, and I'm pretty stoked to say that we've got 99 followers now. Not bad for just about a week's work. I was just pretty blown away by that. That's almost doubled yesterday. Not much has changed. I think it's got a compounding interest effect when you just do all of these tips that I've been discovering. When I wrote out all of these tips for myself last week, I didn't actually think they would perform that well. But if you extrapolated this over, like I said at the beginning, 6 months to 12 months, you would do pretty well. Like that's 100 followers in a week. That's, 5,200 followers in a year. So, that's not too bad. Just gonna go through a few changes that I did this morning. I have updated the highlights reels to reflect the photography that I've been putting in because lots of people have been responding really well to the posts I've been putting on. Like this one today, just put it on how Biden has rejoined the Paris Climate Agreement. And that got a little bit of like, a little bit of love just 27 minutes ago. But lots of people have been responding to the photos that I've been putting on about nature. So I wanted to reflect that in my highlights because that's really what highlights should be. It should be what people can expect from your channel and what people can expect from your posts. So I've got nature, which is just photos that I've taken, videos from around here. And I've also got inspiration, which is just like little messages I've been putting up, and they're actually all just funnels really that push people towards the store. And I have noticed on Shopify that has really been working. The days where I put up like, hey, go check out the store on the story, people literally just go, they follow through, click on the bio, click on the link, and I notice a spike on Shopify. So that is one really useful thing that I've learned this week is you just have to push people a little bit and they will follow through your funnel. But that being said, I think this whole activity, this whole challenge has been really inspiring to me because I never thought that I could actually grow a following on Instagram. I've never really been into it. The only people that follow me on my main page are just friends and 820 people. I don't even really speak to that many people. I definitely don't speak to that many people. I probably speak to like 5 people. But I think this is really cool. It's showing me and it's definitely showing you guys that you can actually just build a brand in a week. So gonna be running Facebook ads on this next week and hopefully pushing even more people to the store. But this Instagram page, There's no promotion really I'll be doing on it. I'm just gonna let it grow organically. And then in future, I probably will hire a few Instagram influencers to promote the products. But right now, this is looking really good. Pretty keen to touch in tomorrow and see if anything else has changed because it's only up from here. All right, stay tuned. All right, and this is the final day of the 7-day Instagram challenge. We are at 118 followers, not bad. Started at 10 and just over a week later now, 118 followers. So that's the raw data right there. I think roughly I tried to keep it to 30 minutes a day posting stories because you can only do stories on your phone. And I did posts on later, mostly at the start of the week. There were definitely days where I spent a bit longer commenting. It was really dependent on my mood, where I was kind of like keen to, engage with the community and the niche, replying to comments, starting conversations, and all of that jazz. But I think that the main surges in followers was when I just did a massive following burst. Went onto Gordon Ramsay's page, went on to other pages that are very similar to me, my actual Shopify competitors, and I just followed as many people as I could who already follow that page because, of course, they're a competitor, but I'm doing things a little bit differently to them. So I wanted to see if I could just engage people with my photography and my unique posts. So obviously you can go and follow it yourself, Fern City on Instagram. I appreciate that. Obviously you don't have to, that's a bit of a joke.
Stop right there, I'm in.
But I think this is really kind of an important milestone for me in the dropshipping world because I can foresee myself sort of building this out to maybe 10,000 followers next year. That's a really inspiring frame to look at the world in. You could actually have 10,000 people who are kind of interested in you, who want to listen to what you're saying, and of course that you can share your products with and share your values with as well. I think that's really, really cool. Test out these things that I've said and try to build your own following on Instagram because really all it takes is time. And if you're lucky enough, like me, to have 30 minutes a day to put in the hours to make this kind of content, then you should do it. Obviously, the caveat here is that I'd already taken all of these photos, and so all I had to do was really post them. But, you can just spend a little bit of time on the weekend or as you're going around your world taking photos of things that you're interested in and then share them on Instagram because that's really why the app was created. Okay, so this is a little bonus section. I wanted to just check back 2 weeks later. So this is day 14 or day 15. I'm not entirely sure how far ahead I am, but since I recorded it last, we have gone up to 288 followers, which is pretty good for about 2 weeks worth of the same sorts of thing. So the main reason I wanted to add this to this video was just to say these techniques actually work. I have been really blown away by how effective just liking people's posts, just following people, commenting on people's posts, while at the same time having a great story that's engaging, which shows that you're an active Instagram user, has actually led to an increase in following so much so to 288. 0 to 288 in 2 weeks. That's pretty damn good. So, give this a month, we might be at 500. Give this a year, we might be at 10,000. I don't know, maybe 2,000. But at the end of the day, you can create an audience. And that is what I wanted to learn. I really wanted to be transparent with you guys and have a real challenge that's truthful. And just kind of glad that it didn't completely flop and I get no followers. It seems that these techniques do work and I'm very keen to see how this grows. If you do want to follow the page, it's just Fern__city and you can follow along with the progress and you can learn from me how a real business is operating on Instagram. And hopefully you can use those same lessons that I'm learning and grow your own business and promote your own business on Instagram. So yeah, best of luck to both of us. I hope that this whole challenge has been useful to you. And if it has, I'd really like to see how it has in the comments. And if you wanted to see anything else Instagram related, please comment it below because I'm sure that we can really, see what this page can do and learn together. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos because I'm sure this is not the last you'll see of Fern City. Okay, thanks.